each step we grow, together we know, puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air, each step, friends beyond compare. Pictures start to pair, love and fun we share. Piece by piece we go, with each step we grow, together we know, puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air, friends beyond compare. Pictures start to pair, love and fun we share. Late into the night, pieces fit just right, heartbeats taking flight in the morning light. Piece by piece we go, with each step we grow, together we know, puzzling joy will show. Joy will show. Will show. Joy will show. Joy will show. Eight hands flying fast, colors brightly clash, pieces locked they mash, time you cannot dash. Edge and corner find, patterns in your mind, joy in each line signed. Erase it, you'll not mind. Piece by piece we go, with each step we grow, together we know, puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air, friends beyond compare. Pictures start to pair, love and fun we share. Piece by piece we go, with each step we grow, together we know, puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air, friends beyond compare. Pictures start to pair, love and fun we share. Late into the night, pieces fit just right, heartbeats taking flight in the morning light. Piece by piece we go, with each step we grow, together we know, puzzling joy will show. Joy will show. Will show. Joy will show. Joy will show. Eight hands flying fast, colors brightly clash, pieces locked they mash, time you cannot dash, edge and corner find, patterns in your mind, joy in each line signed, erase it, you'll not mind. Piece by piece we go, with each step we grow, together we know, puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air, friends beyond compare, pictures start to pair, love and fun we share. Piece by piece we go, with each step we grow, together we know, puzzling joy will show. Laughter fills the air, friends beyond compare, pictures start to pair, love and fun we share. Late into the night, pieces fit just right, heartbeats taking flight, in the morning light.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's competition. We're going to have double trouble. I'd like to welcome all the participants and our viewers as well. And yeah, our hosts, Catherine, and I can't spot Jim yet, but I'm sure he's in there. But I thought we could start chatting anyway. Yeah, so we're just a few days away from Budapest, from the European Championship, and so we thought we'd talk a little bit about that today. Yeah, Catherine, so would you like to tell us about the theme and the question that we asked our participant?
Yes. So since the European Championship is so close by, I thought it would be interesting to talk about what kind of essential things everyone is taking to competitions, how you travel to a competition, and yeah, what are the extra little things that you have to have with you in order to compete. From the answers, there was obviously some things that we expected to see, like a lot of people cannot go without their puzzle stand, yeah, or box holder. A lot of people, music is really important, and then there were some more answers that I didn't expect so much, which we'll be talking about also throughout the competition. Personally, I like to pack always something to drink. I like to pack snacks for in between, for the sugar boost that I need, especially after I finish a puzzle. I'm always so tired, and then I just need something sweet to go in between. A box holder, clothes that are not going to hang off me when I'm leaning over the table, because I am a person that stands a lot while puzzling, and I think it makes me faster. I don't know if it's true, but I think that's the case. And yeah, also comfortable shoes, because you'll be in the shoes the whole day. So better to take some that you used to wearing before, and that you can stand in comfortably.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with all of those things. Like, I need my box holder. I need, yeah, I'm very careful about, or luckily all my puzzle t-shirts are not baggy, or I wouldn't wear, I have a puzzle hoodie, but like I wouldn't wear that during puzzling. So having, yeah, good clothing is important, and definitely water and snacks. Yeah, I see that Jim is there. Greetings, Jim. Yeah, would you like to share what you bring when you go to a competition. Well, because you're also there often as a spectator, so maybe is there something different as opposed to competing?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I try to recommend people bring no matter what is just like a small 100 puzzle, so that way you can do a warm up and like get the jitters out. If I'm there as a spectator, usually I have my phone with me, so that way I can like look up information about the puzzle, or if it's been on my speed puzzling, that kind of thing. That way I can kind of like keep track of a few things and sort of have an eye on what people are going to be really interesting to keep an eye on. I think Catherine's point about wearing comfortable shoes, a lot of the venues end up being much warmer than you expect. So like shirts that wick a little bit or have some breeze to them, that goes a really long way. So that way you're not just stressing out the whole time. I've seen a lot of people take those like mini fans with them to places, so that way it can like blow on them between things, and those are pretty handy. But yeah, I think my most trusted tool right now is probably a phone, so that way I can like take notes and jot things down between rounds.
Yeah, and definitely think about bringing a power bank or a charger if you're going to be, especially if you're going to be taking lots of photos or videos. Yeah, because they're going to be long days, and yeah, lots of things to see in Budapest as well. Something that some people mentioned, which I also agree with, is bringing the resealable plastic bags. So once you rip open the bags, you're going to be transporting them back to your home. Like often they'll be transported sideways or inside other boxes, and therefore you want to keep all the pieces together. Also things like hair ties. Don't forget glasses if you wear them. Yeah, headphones and mascots if that's something that you love to, if that's going to help you get into that puzzling zone.
Mascots are always helpful.
Yeah, and trays if you're in the team competition. But yeah, there's also some other things we'll mention as we go along. Somebody mentioned sunscreen. I mean, it's really hot in Europe right now. Today was supposed to be 34 degrees, but when I was in my car, it said it was 38 degrees. And then when my husband was in the car, it said 41 degrees. So I think all of our puzzles will also, might be suffering a bit with the temperatures tonight. So yeah, maybe a portable fan.
No, thank you.
But yeah, actually they did say that there will be air conditioning in the venue. So I think it's going to be a big relief for everybody. All right, so it looks like we'll be ready to do the reveal in a minute. For those who have joined us, Catherine, you can just remind everyone what the Double Trouble is about, and then once Catherine has done the countdown, I'll disappear into the background, and Jim and Catherine will run the show.
All right. So today we're doing a double trouble, which means that when you unpack your puzzle, you will see that it is a box that contains 2 puzzles within it. You will have a few seconds to look, and then you have to decide which one of the 2 puzzles you would want to do. The puzzles are just loose in bags inside of the box, so you just have to have a quick look at the puzzle bags themselves, and it's relatively easy to see which puzzle is which. So you can make your decision like that. You need to keep, both of the images will be on the front of the box, so you can keep the lid to look at the images. And I think that's all. All right. So you can unwrap your boxes now.
This is exciting.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what will happen.
Not just what it is, but what the choices people are going to make. That's really that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, have a look if you can open the lid and have a look inside so that you can see which one of the bags is which puzzle. And then when you have done that, just put the lid back on top and put the puzzle back in the middle of your table so that we know that you're ready to go.
Okay, I just want to mention Jenny Huisman. Could you just angle your camera a little bit more down so we can see the table a bit more? Yeah, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so I think we can, yeah, go ahead.
Lena says there's only one bag in her box. Is there only one puzzle in it, or is it like one bag that is in the middle connected with two puzzles?
Okay, that's a bit bizarre.
Okay, Nia also just has one bag. That's unfortunate. says she has only one bag, and it is the hard one. Yeah, that is really unfortunate. Is it for? Does everyone else have two bags in it? Like, can you do like a thumbs up if you have two bags? Okay, so most people have the two bags. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I don't know. That must be an error from the manufacturer.
Okay, so unfortunately, Nia and Lena, you will just have to do that one. I'm really sorry about that. We'll try to make it up to you another way, but yeah, just do the one that you have. Okay. So everybody has at least one puzzle. Then if you have, I'm sorry, if you have one puzzle, then that's the puzzle you're going to be doing. Let us definitely let us know later if you have that situation. Yes, okay, then otherwise everybody should be ready to go. So you can do the cut, Catherine.
All right, so, oh my God, it's the first time I'm doing the cut. I'm sorry. Okay, ready to puzzle in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, puzzle.
All right, let's go, everybody. This is really cool, and the fact that the majority of people who had to pick which one they were going to do is really curious. I'm excited to see what they end up picking.
All right, so we can take a closer look at the puzzles.
Yeah, what's the name of this guy, Catherine?
All right, so they are both together called Cosmos and Crystals. So the top puzzle has like, I'm just going to describe the puzzles one by one. So the one at the top has like a big section in the middle that's like a gradient with like the star signs in it. And then kind of around the edge and the bottom, the two borders and the bottom side is like miscellaneous like astronomy gear. So like planets, I can't think of the word for the thing. So
the astrology and like astrolabes and all sorts of telescopes on the outside.
Exactly. There's also underneath the circle, there's a little white cat in the bottom. And yeah, there's all kinds of like glasses and knickknacks and all kinds of stuff. And then the other puzzle is just a collection of crystals. So all kinds of like gem stones, like geodes, things like that. The only thing that is not like a colorful gemstone is this magnifying glass that we see here. And for the rest, it's just, yeah, all kinds of colors and organic shapes.
Yeah, this is really curious because both of those puzzles have pretty straightforward parts and also pretty tricky parts. Like the background gradient of the Cosmos puzzle Like a lot of people will gravitate towards that, I think. But that outside edge with all of that gold and yellow and sort of duplicated astrolabe circle, all of those might be tricky for some people to grind through. On the other hand, the crystal puzzle, there's a lot of really distinct color and texture for several pieces, but then you also have chunks that are fairly large and duplicated. And if you have a little bit of trouble distinguishing some of those areas, I think the purples and some of those reds might be a little rough. It could be a little rough. So this is definitely one where puzzlers who are happy about gradients are going to gravitate towards that one, and puzzlers that are happy about patterns and textures are going to gravitate towards the other. I think this is going to be pretty exciting to see what comes down the pipeline. My hunch is that the crystal one might be slightly more difficult, but I don't think it's game breaking.
Yeah, I think it depends on what your strengths are. Personally, I thought that by just looking at them, I couldn't really tell which one would be harder, which one would be easier. But after doing them, there was one that was clearly harder than the other one. I'll talk about it maybe when we're when the first 10 minutes have passed, and we can probably see also a clear difference between which one. Yeah, maybe more people are doing one of them. We'll see. All right. Let's start the introduction. So right now on screen, we have Alexandra from Germany. We have Anne-Louise from Sweden. We have Anna from Cyprus, Anna A from Cyprus. Then we have Anne R from Finland. We have Annemie from Switzerland, and we have Astrid from Denmark.
Yeah, and look at them taking off. We're already just over 4 minutes into this particular competition, and Astrid has the full border pulled out from the pile and is going to town on it. I think Astrid might have picked to do the Cosmos puzzle. It's going to be a little difficult to tell, sort of like what you're saying, but this is really exciting. I think several people here picked Cosmos. Enemy may have gone for crystals, it looks like. Little tricky to tell with some of those pinks. But Ann R is doing a pretty big sort up front. And this is always when we talk about trade-offs in puzzling. Does the sort ahead give you enough distinction so that way you can make up a lot of time? And I think Anne is one of those people that does the sort pretty consistently, and it pays off. So it might look a little slow up front, but then they'll make up time on the other end of it.
One way we can easier distinguish what people are building in the beginning is you see on Astrid's table this light blue edge at the top. That is the gradient. So that is the Cosmos puzzle. The edge, the border of the other one is way more random colors, basically, all around.
Yeah, so there might be a little bit of split tactics for each puzzle, which is also really exciting. It's not just a matter of what image you pick, but also the approach that you pick on that image as well.
Yes. Joining us on the stream now is Bibi from Denmark, Birgit from Germany, Caroline from Germany, Christine from Denmark, and Kieran from Ireland, who I've had the pleasure to meet a couple of weeks ago at the Dutch Nationals for the first time. I'm always really happy to meet people that I've been seeing in the Euro Jigsaw Jams in person. And yeah, he was so nice. He came up to me and yeah, we hung out.
That's fantastic. It's always great to meet and spend time with other great puzzlers, and just enjoy this fun hobby altogether. But you can see that BB is also going for that top edge, and it looks like a little bit of a rainbow split for a lot of the pieces. I think she's pulled the edges kind of close to the main pile, but then it's rainbowed out above. It looks like Bridget is doing a pretty hefty sort up front, getting some of those blues and greens. I think they may have, by the look of it, they may be going for the crystal one, because I don't see the super bright pinks or purples inside of there. But we'll see as it shapes up a little bit more. Carolyn, doing a really good job, has also gone for the Cosmos puzzle, has a lot of those yellows built out. You'll notice that she didn't end up going for that outer border. She just went, great, these yellows stick out the most to me. I'm going to crush them really, really quick and then expand out from it. Sunbursting is what we call it sometimes, and then going from there. Christine doing a great job getting a lot of those greens together. I think those bright greens may be the Crystallis, the crystal puzzle. Yep, trying to get those in little by little. Syrian getting the border built away, and Clarence also getting the full border. We're coming up on just over 8 minutes here, and so we're expecting to see a pretty decent number of pieces in, but you can also get a little shaken by having to make that choice early on. And this is going to be very similar to what people are going to have to deal with at Worlds, where those prelim rounds, puzzlers will pick between two different puzzles. So this is great practice for a lot of people.
Yes, and yeah, we have Clarence Martin, who I'm not sure exactly where they are from. Then we have Daniela, who is from the Netherlands. We have Daria from Poland, and we have Daria from Denmark.
Yeah, the D teams are doing excellent. You can see Daria has gone for the crystal puzzle and is getting those greens and oranges. I think those are going to be pretty distinct on the crystal puzzle, and I think you're going to see a lot more of the island technique with those, building specific spots and then expanding out from there. Whereas on the Cosmos puzzle, you're going to see a little bit more border and then gradient building straight down, which is going to be really exciting. But everybody's off to a really good kick here. If you see a full border, it's going to be about 86 pieces. So that's going to be a good way to estimate how much of the puzzle is completed at any point in time. I think on the crystal puzzle, if you see all those greens locked in, that's probably going to be about 50 pieces total. So if you see those greens in, you can make a pretty decent estimate that way.
Yeah, the greens are definitely the most distinct color from all the crystals. There's only really, there's some green at the top, and then there's like a bigger green crystal also at the top. And yeah, all the rest, especially the reds and the pinks, are a little bit harder to place, like where they are from. All right. We have the next contestants on the screen. So we have Dora from Switzerland. We have Elena from Latvia. We have Elisa from Estonia. And we have Emilia from Finland.
Yeah, you can see a lot of several people ended up picking the Cosmos puzzle. I think a lot of puzzlers are attracted to those strong gradients because it sticks out pretty well, and a lot of puzzlers enjoy doing sky, nighttime, sunset puzzles. So it's something familiar that they can jump onto. So Lena and Amelia are both doing that Cosmos puzzle. Elisa has that full top border just about done and is starting to do a little bit of brute forcing down at the bottom. It's kind of interesting to see which puzzlers try to do a full border first versus just have those pieces off to the side and then knock them out as they go through. But Amelia is doing a solid job here, is expanding down through the top to get some of those blues in. Elena might be slightly ahead. It looks like, yeah, Daria is really trucking on that crystal puzzle, making excellent progress in those greens and yellows. And I think that's going to be a thing of doing it in layers, like a little bit of the greens, a little bit of the yellows, and sort of cycling through from there. in order to make sure that you don't lose any time.
Yes. Our next contestants, we have Eric from the Netherlands. We have Evili from Estonia. We have Eva from Poland. And we have Fanny from Hungary.
And they are going to town. One of the things that Evili mentioned about things to bring was definitely headphones and a puzzle stand. Can't blame me at all for that one. A lot of folks end up listening to different kinds of music to get them going. I almost wonder if listening to different musics on different puzzles would give you a boost in some way, which would be kind of fun. Iwe has the entire border built out and then is expanding down into those blues on the Cosmos puzzle. Really good progress there. And Freya has most of those blues on the Cosmos puzzle built out. Eric looks like he has the full border. He might be slightly behind Iwa at this point, but not by too much. Fanny making excellent progress here, trying to build some islands in the middle with those astrolabes within the center of the Cosmos puzzle. Along with Freya, who I think looks like she almost has most of the border on. Yeah, she has a full border here. As we come up on about 13 minutes and 30 seconds inside of the double trouble puzzle on the EJJ here.
Yeah, so we also had Freya D from Sweden and Freya R from Denmark on the screen. That was bottom middle and bottom right that we were commenting on just now. Yeah, I see a lot of people have chosen the Cosmos, which I think I can now reveal is probably the faster puzzle for most people, because this gradient just kind of, especially if you like a gradient, it'll just kind of go in, and then yeah, the rest of the puzzle is not the easiest. It is a little bit tricky. There's lots of small things like parts of the puzzle that are really just the size of one puzzle piece, but there's not that many puzzle pieces left after you've done the border and the gradient. So especially our faster puzzlers should make easy work with it. The crystals puzzle, what I thought was the most difficult was just knowing what goes where, because a lot of the colors are similar, like I said before, especially like the reds, the pinks, and yeah, I got stumped with that one. It's not my type of puzzle. Continuing on, we have Hanna from Czechia. Then we have Hanna from Finland. We have Irma from Switzerland. We have Irina from Canada. We have Jane. Jane from Denmark. And someone named Isabel that isn't on my list.
Isabel sneaking in here and getting a lot of those border pieces built out. Jane is branching down from the top. You can see that somebody else is in the background of Jane's camera at the very top there, which is really exciting. Irina is one of the top puzzlers in North America. She did excellent at the U.S. Nationals in every division, and is only been getting faster and faster and faster. I highly recommend people keep an eye on Irina, because she is her improvement in the past several months has just been wild. And you can see that she's using that similar tactic of branching down from the top to get those light blues in. A lot of that gradient is really nice and slick. Once you get into those reds, it gets a little tricky because they're a little more split out, and those horoscope pieces can start to look a little similar. So we might see several puzzlers hit a short wall there. Hannah's doing really well, and Hannah L looks like she has full border and that sky region down into the yellows as well.
Yeah, another thing that maybe is worth mentioning is that these are Trefl puzzles. So they are the same puzzles that we're going to get at the European Championship. So a good moment to practice with Trefl puzzles. And compared to the Ravensburger puzzles, these are not so easy to like pick up and place somewhere else. So you kind of have to be a little bit more intentional about where you build and that you leave open spaces so you can like push something in there instead of lifting it in there. All right. Next on the screen, we have Janine from Germany. We have Jenny from Finland. Jenny P from Finland. We have Jenny H from the Netherlands. Then we have Jessica H from the USA. We have Jessica R from Sweden, and then we have Joanna K from Poland.
All right, and you can see there's several different tactics going on here. It looks like Jenny P is doing the full border and then branching down on Cosmos, whereas Jenny H didn't do the full border but pulled those pieces and is just doing the top from the blue into the yellow. Joanna did full border into the blue, which is really cool. Same thing with Jessica. And Janine is doing a similar tactic to Jenny of not doing the full border first, but just branching down on those easier yellow pieces to knock them down. Jessica H is taking the road less traveled here and went for the crystal puzzle, brute forced that full border, and is now trying to build some islands in the middle. I really like the choice here for Jessica to go for that darker purple crystal in the lower right-hand side, because that's a pretty distinct, very dark color that not a lot of other pieces have. So she's going to be able to find those and crush them. And then that surrounding crystal is also pretty unique color-wise as well. I think Jessica's doing a great job here of making a dent in that crystal puzzle, because it's very built around treating it kind of like a collage.
Yeah, there's definitely a few crystals that kind of spring out at you when you look at your pile, and those ones with the like inner, like the geodes, are definitely some of those. All right, let's continue. So we have Johanna from Germany. We have Judith also from Germany. We have Julia from Austria. We have Kati from Germany. We have Kinga from Poland. And we have Christina, who also isn't on my list yet, but she's there in the bottom right.
You can see Julia over there is into that little bit of more undistinguishable pinks and reds towards the tail end of that gradient. And so we're going to see a lot of puzzlers slow down a little bit in that it's kind of like hitting a speed bump, but still making really, really good progress inside of there. Kinga almost has that full border done. Kati, however, has the full blues, whites, and into the reds. I think Kati and Julia might be about even total piece-wise, but Kati has a little bit more connections. One of the cool things Kati is great at is doing this like typewriter, just left to right, getting whole sections built out before moving on, whereas a lot of other puzzlers will jump around a little bit. And it's all about what methodology, what tactic works best for you that keeps you moving. Christina has that full border built. I think Christina went for the crystal puzzle and has a few islands built out over on the left-hand side there. You can see that she collected a lot of the greens and those blues and is going to be able to zipper those pieces together and then airdrop them in. I think you're right, Catherine, that because it's a Trefl, doing those pickup and moves are going to be a little trickier. So people doing the crystal puzzle might want to build inside the field rather than relying on the airdrop. Same thing with Johanna in the top left there. As we cross the 21 minutes and 30 seconds here, people are really making great progress.
Yeah, that crystal puzzle isn't easy. It's just because with the other one you have a clear start, right? You kind of know where you're going to start, and then you just kind of build away from there. All right, then we see some of our next contestants. We have Christian on the screen now from Poland, who is finished with the gradient and working on everything around the edge. And so is Victor, also from Poland, who we see at the bottom right now. So both Christian and Victor have the gradient done. They have the border bit, and they're like filling in those spaces around.
Yeah, Christian and Victor and Kati, they're three of the fastest puzzlers in the world right now. So seeing them go to town on this puzzle is really impressive. These particular truffles have been around for a little bit, so we know that Victor has done the both of these puzzles before. Not sure if Christian has. Pretty likely that it's in his repertoire somewhere. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see how they get on from here. But you can see that they're both about probably about 2/3, 3/4 of the way done, and just need to fill out the rest of those astrolabes. So it's going to be a game of who can do a little bit more shape work, who can see some of those details on the pieces a little bit clearer. Christian doesn't look like he checks the box all that much at this point, so he may be just pushing through very quickly. Len's looking really strong, getting the Cosmos top done along with Leah, and Lena Buck has gone for the crystal puzzle, getting that full border in.
Yeah, so we're gonna leave Christian and Victor on the screen so everyone can watch, and then we're gonna try to get to everyone else who is still puzzling. So we have Leah K from Denmark. We also have Leah W from also from Denmark. Then we have Lena from Germany, and we have Lene from Denmark.
And they are cruising. Yeah, coming up on the 24-minute mark, we can see we can see the lower left-hand side there, slowing down in that pink region, but blasting through. Christian and Victor are neck and neck right now. Christian may be picking up a little bit of speed over on that left-hand side to lock out, but Victor is making these extra lines between things in order to make sure that he can use the shape work a little bit later. So really cool tactics by both people.
Next, we have Celine from Les Puzzles de Blitz. Then we have she's from France. Then we have Lydia from Italy. We have Liebe, who I'm not sure who they are. And we also have Madara from Latvia.
Lita doing a great job on that crystal puzzle, getting that big chunk of green in. Lita waving at the screen, also doing the crystals. You can see that she's making those islands of pieces and building it through. Madara and Lost Puzzles, Celine, sorry, about even in total piece count. Madara did the border and Celine didn't. Christian and Victor are neck and neck right now. It's a little difficult to tell. I think Christian may have a piece count edge advantage right now, getting some of the more of those oranges and yellows in.
Then we have Magdalena from Poland. We have Maya Y from Finland. We have Maya JT from Slovenia. And we have Maria H from Finland. And we see so many people are doing the Cosmos, so most of you guys all had the same instinct that that would probably be the faster puzzle.
Yeah, when in doubt, go with something that you recognize and feel safe, because you're probably right. Trust your gut. Yeah, everybody's doing really good. Christian, it looks like he's down to about the last 50 or 60 pieces or so. Victor's only slightly behind. He may be at close to 70 pieces, but they might be able to make up a little bit of time with that setup that he did earlier.
Also puzzling is Maria R from Slovakia, Maria TB from Sweden, Marilyn from Estonia, and Miller from Finland.
Yeah, Melina, sorry, didn't do the full border, but it's just expanding down into those yellows and blues on Cosmos. Maria, everybody else is sort of doing those borders. One of the things that's really fun to watch about Christian and Victor is that they use both their left hand and right hand equally. They're not just kind of using their left hand or right hand. Christian picks up one piece in both hands and then twirls them around and stuffs them in. It cuts down on the transfer time from the pile into where they're going to end up building it. Same thing for Victor. You'll see that their hands move very, very rapidly, and they pick up a piece that they know that they want to get. And then they airdrop it right where it needs to go very quickly. But I think Christian is accelerating into the end here and may have this locked up.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with how he's doing this without looking at the box, because I was, especially for these last parts, just looking at the box to figure out where the pieces would go. Also puzzling, we have Mooney from Germany, we have Nadia from Indonesia, we have Natalia from Poland, and we have Natasha from Austria.
All doing really great. And Christian is coming down on the last 4 or 5 pieces here, is going to get them in. He has several pieces sitting on top of the puzzle. I didn't see that. That was missing. They were sitting on top of the gradient. So that might slow him down just a little bit, but not enough to keep him out of the first place slot. Coming into the wrap up here. Mooney and Natasha do an excellent job here, along with Natalia and Nadia. Nadia went for the crystal puzzle, has that green island as an anchor point, but Christian has maybe about 15 pieces left. I didn't see those sitting on top of the gradient.
Yeah, I think he might have slightly more, but it's hard to tell because also his table, you don't really see what is still an empty space and what is already filled in. All right, from our next puzzlers, we have. I think Michelle is showing us
Christian
some other.
hits the done button. Congratulations, Christian. Very well done.
Congrats.
I think it's just over 29 minutes.
Yeah.
Very well done. Congratulations. That was amazing. Being able to do any puzzle in under 30 minutes is wild.
Yeah, 29 and 30 seconds, something like that. Congratulations.
And Christian did confirm this is the second time that he's done this puzzle, so explains what that's probably why he didn't have to check the image as much, because he already had a pretty good idea of what it looked like and then could just drop things in. His memory on these kinds of puzzles is really good, and I'm willing to bet that those astrolabes, those browns, are very similar to the giant, like 2,000 to 3,000 piece puzzles that he does that are all forest. Oh, and he solved these both in January. Yeah, very well done.
Yeah, that explains why you didn't have to look at the at the box very much. Michelle has put on the screen also Verena Klauser, who is going to be one of our guest interviews later in the stream. She's doing really well. She also did very, very well at the Austrian Nationals last weekend. We'll be chatting about that. Then we also have on screen Kati, who also seems to be working on the bottom part. We have Astrid, and I think the 5th person is Irina, if I see correctly. So these are the next people to finish.
Yeah, I think Irina is pretty close, along with Olivia as well. Victor is in the head, is ahead here, and Verena is making really good progress. You can see everybody hits that slow down button as they get into those astrolabe sections of the section of that Cosmos puzzle, because there's so much duplication inside of there. It makes it a little tricky to really discern which piece is supposed to go where when. So keeping track of those. So you'll see some puzzlers end up using a discard area, or they send it to like puzzle jail, And I think that's what Christian was doing earlier, where he would take a piece, and if he wasn't 100% sure, he would just leave it on top of the gradient. I think that's okay whenever the color is different enough from what you're working on that you're not going to forget that it's there. That's the huge thing, is making sure that you never forget where your pieces are.
All right, and we're going to go back to introducing everyone. So we have Nia, who sadly got stuck with the one puzzle because there was only the one puzzle in her box. So she sadly has to do the harder puzzle. Then we have, she's from the UK. Then we have Nicole, who is from Bulgaria. Then we have Nina, who is from Denmark. We have Olivia from Poland, who is doing excellent progress. And then we also have Patrick from Switzerland.
Yeah, and you can see Nina's making excellent progress there on that crystal puzzle, really using those islands to the advantage, getting that green. That dark blue over on the lower right-hand side is a really good target as well. And, we talk sometimes about switching lenses in your eye in order to be able to figure out which kinds of things you're going to work on next. So figuring out what kind of texture you want to aim for is going to be really big on that crystal puzzle. But she's making really good progress here. Olivia is flying right now, is down to just those browns, that outer edge, with all the compasses and planets and browns and golds. I think Victor is pretty good and set to lock up the second place line here, as he gets another handful, and I think he's down to about the last 3 pieces here. 3, 2, 1, and he hits the done button. Congratulations, Victor! Very well done. Just under the 34-minute line. Really, really well done, sir. It's a phenomenal job. And these, we say it all the time. Some of these puzzlers make it look easy. These puzzles aren't easy.
No. Yeah, I expected Victor to do well. I looked up his time on my speed puzzling. I think it was 38 minutes. So he got even faster than than he did it last time.
Yeah, and that's always what you want to see, is about somewhere between a 10 to 15% bump if you're relying just on memory and doing the same puzzle again, which is really, really impressive. Congratulations, Victor. That's an excellent job.
So just before on screen, we saw Rachel from Denmark, Ramona from Switzerland, Rika from Denmark, and Saskia from Estonia. And now on the screen, we have Salma from Sweden, we have Simone from Austria, we have Stephanie from Germany, we have Steffi B from Germany, and Steffi H from Germany. And in the bottom right, we have Kati working on the last parts of the puzzle. But these last parts of this puzzle, they are tricky because you need way longer for those than you need for the gradients. So it's a little bit we're going to we'll be seeing lots of gradients finished and people struggling with the rest of the puzzle.
Yeah, and that's a-okay. This is part of why you blitz as fast as you can on the quote unquote easy parts of the puzzle, or the clearest ones, the ones that the parts that are the most straightforward for you to get your eye on. And then you hope to make up that time. You use that advantage a little bit later whenever you get to the really tricky parts. You can see Steffi B trying to make those lines in at the bottom. Similar to what Victor had done with getting that pedestal, that sort of off gray yellow, and the stair steps inside of there, because that's a pretty distinguishing line inside of that puzzle to get done. Kati also getting that gray stairwell in, and then is going to be able to use some shape work as she keeps pushing forward. Verena almost out of the full gradient and getting into a little bit of the other into the astrolabes, but Vicky is ahead of Verena at this point and is branching out into those astrolabes, making really, really good moves here. It's fun to see how Vicky has started to put. She didn't do this forever, but it's a new thing where she's starting to put all the pieces just on one hand side and then dunking them in from the other. Veronica is also moving through. You can see that Veronica has those pieces spread out in almost a rainbow around pieces, and is sometimes bouncing from one piece to one side to the other to figure out what she wants to put some more pieces in.
Yeah, so also on screen now we have Teja from Finland. We have Verena, who we already shortly saw on screen before. We have Veronica G from Germany. We have Veronica V from Slovakia, and we also have Vicky, who we will also be interviewing later today, and she is from Budapest. So if you have any questions if you want to know anything about Budapest, you can drop them already in the chat, and then we'll ask Vicky all the questions later that we want to know.
Guzzle Gaming is pointing out the real question is, can Naya finish in time for the puzzle guzzle she has in 26 minutes? I believe in Naya. You can do it.
Let's hope. Let's hope she can do it. All right, and we're almost at the end of the alphabet. We have reached the V's, the W's. Well, the one W is already gone. Victor has finished already. So we still have Bruni from Switzerland, and then we have Zane from Latvia, and then we went through everyone. So yeah, we didn't quite finish before the first person finished. So if you are playing bingo tonight, that's one of the boxes you can tick off. Yeah, I'm really impressed.
You always want as many winners as possible.
Exactly. I'm super impressed with everyone's progress. A lot of people are fighting with the bottom, like what is it, a fifth maybe of the image from the Cosmos puzzle. And yeah, we can see that an overwhelming amount of people have chosen that puzzle. And maybe the people that haven't chosen it also were the people that only had one back.
Yeah. I think there's I think you end up with close to a third of the puzzle being all of that real finicky, tedious golden brown pieces. So the fact that people got through the gradient as quickly as they did is really impressive. And the fact that they're plowing through this is even more so, because that is not easy at all. You can see Irina is making some really serious moves here. It looks like she might be down to about the last 50 pieces or so. And because of the way things are spaced out, she's really going to be able to use the shape of the piece in order to sink in the rest of this. I think we're going to see her accelerate in towards the end here. Kati is maybe a little about even, maybe slightly behind Irina. It's a little difficult to count the total number of pieces at this point, but they are making some serious moves. And along with Olivia, I think Olivia may have the total piece count advantage here. But Olivia is also one of those puzzlers that is very technical and precise, and isn't one of those like physically fast, like rapid hand movement kind of puzzler. She's very accurate with how she with how she does things. So it's fun to see those two groups come into the close. And Veronica is also coming in hot now. It looks like she may only have about 30 pieces remaining in those browns, unless there's some sitting a little bit off camera that I can't see. But this is going to be close, coming into the top, the rest of the top 5 and the top 10.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a wave of puzzlers finishing all around the same time. Yeah, everyone was so quick with the gradient, and then you kind of slow down, with the last third of the puzzle. But yeah, we can really see a lot of people like kind of at the same stage. We have some people, in the chat. Michelle is asking.
Coming in on the last couple, and Veronica is done. Congratulations, Veronica!
Congratulations!
Just over 41 minutes. That's absolutely phenomenal. You know, we're talking about hitting a slowdown on this one. Can you imagine getting a puzzle done in 41 minutes? Like it's absolutely amazing. It's really, really cool.
It's definitely not slow. Yeah, someone in the chat was asking how Caroline is doing. She is doing pretty much the same as everyone else. She's finished with the gradient and she's working on the last third of the puzzle. So yeah, she's gonna be probably in the next wave of finishers that's coming
Olivia's
up now.
Olivia's down to the last 10 or 11 pieces here, along with Vicky. Vicky is maybe down to 15. We're going to see if she can get her physicality going. But Olivia is just so accurate. I think she's going to be able to drop those last ones in. Yeah, Olivia's running away with the next slot here to get those last 3 pieces in. But Vicky pushing hard, making it a tight fight. And Olivia gets that last piece in. Is she going to be able to run up and hit the done button? A little bit of a misstep there, trying to get that last one in. Rotates it in her hand. There's a couple of pieces sitting on the puzzle on the gradient, which is difficult to catch. And she hits it. Congratulations, Olivia.
Woo!
Locks up 4th place, I believe. And Vicky is right behind her on her heels. I think there's only about 7 pieces remaining. And whenever you get these really tight finishes, we're starting to see more and more puzzlers get finished closer and closer together. And Vicky's done. Congratulations. A lot of times those close finishes, it can even come down to just having an unlucky flip, right? If you have
and Anime also finished.
And Anime, I didn't even see Anime. Oh my God! Congratulations, Anime! You slipped under the radar there. Very well done. Wow. I'm sorry, I didn't make the call on that. Anime, congratulations, you and your mascots there putting in some extra power. And we're now looking at our top 10. Hannah L coming in hot, along with Irina, who's going to be able to grab these the last of the top 10, making it above the polls. Hannah does it. Congratulations, Hannah. Irina had just a few more extra pieces inside of her hand, getting them out pretty quickly here. But going sub 45 on something like this, where a third of the puzzle is that wacky, is pretty difficult. And I think Irina is going to be able to lock in just under 44 minutes. Yes, congratulations, Irina. Well done.
Congrats. 8th.
Very well done.
Yeah, now people are finishing just within a few seconds of each other, like less than a minute of each other. And it'll probably keep going like that until the end of the stream. That's my prediction. And it's just going to be very...
it's gonna be tight. And we're starting to see that. We're starting to see that more and more as the abilities and the level of puzzlers increase. The difference, the deviation between their times is going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, which is really phenomenal to watch. It used to be that you'd have finishers 2-3 minutes apart across the entire spectrum, but now you're starting to get these clusters of waves as puzzlers of similar abilities start running up on each other, which is really impressive. But you can see Carolyn making good progress. Astrid coming in on probably the last 30 pieces or so. Iwa is down into the murk, dealing with some of those left and right hand duplication of pieces. Kati is also wrapping up. It looks like down to maybe about 30 pieces or so. I wildly undercounted earlier. That's entirely my fault. But Verena is also trying to wrap up what's left of the edge of the gradient and then get into the murk inside of that. Steffi B has only about 10 pieces left. Is Steffi B going to be able to push through? You can see the hands moving a little bit faster as they try to get that. And Daria is looking excellent in the lower right-hand side. Steffi B gets the next slot. Congratulations. Wrapping it up very quickly. And Daria is coming in hot as well. This is really, really great puzzling by everybody. And we're not even at the 46-minute mark yet.
Yeah, this is really amazing. When you look at the times from the My Speed puzzling, they are a little bit higher than some of the other faster puzzles that we've seen people do. So anytime under 50 on these puzzles, especially if it's your first time doing it, is kind of amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and for a lot of people, if you haven't done these puzzles before, don't be discouraged, because some of the people ahead of you have done it before, and so they're going to get a time bump. And Iwa finishes very, very well done.
Rounding out the top 10 of today is Eva. Congratulations.
Or Ava, sorry. One of these days I'll get the pronunciations right. My apologies.
Oh, I'm also, I don't know about the pronunciation. So if we mispronounce any of your names and you want us to say it more correctly, let us know hop over to the YouTube and let us know how to say your name correctly.
Yeah, Verena coming in on the last handful of pieces. I think there's only 3 in their hand that she's got to get the rest of this done. And she hits it, put it in, type it, do it. Oh no! Oh no, we're having a type. There it is. Congratulations. I could see Verena having a heart attack right there, trying to get the words built in right before the end.
Oh, and Daria right behind
her. Congratulations, Daria. Very well done puzzle.
So far, everyone has done the Cosmos puzzle, so I can't wait to see what the fastest time for the other puzzle will be.
Crystal, yeah.
Yeah, it's slower. We know that now.
Yeah.
But still, if you are one of the people that is doing the other puzzle, you can still be first for that puzzle.
Congratulations, so. Kati. Kati finishes strong, just ahead of Stephanie Tag.
Yes.
Congratulations. That last chunk of the puzzle where it's just duplicated on both sides is really, really tricky.
All right. So I think it might be a good time to bring in some of our first finishers. I know Christian didn't have time to be interviewed, so we're gonna go straight to Victor. Victor, if you're there, you can turn on your mic.
Hello.
Hello. Congratulations on your second place.
Thank you very much.
So how did you, well, I know you've done both of these puzzles, so I'm assuming you knew which one was the faster one for you. Did you maybe play in your mind with like, maybe I'll do the other one just to challenge myself, or was your decision clear?
The decision was clear, but to be honest, I don't know how long ago it was when I was doing those puzzles, but I remember that when I was looking at the 2 images, I thought to myself that I know that the gradient section of the astrology puzzle will be very fast, but I couldn't really tell how difficult would be the rest of it. And I didn't think that the other puzzle was easier, but also I thought that the crystals would be easier than they were. Because when I started doing the crystals, and I don't know, I think I did the blues and the greens, it was so blurry and like all over the place, and I was like, oh no. It wasn't that fun. And also the lower section of the astrology puzzle proved to be not as bad as I thought, so that's what I remembered from the puzzle. And yeah, I was actually very surprised that I didn't remember anything from the like lower half of the puzzle, because I normally like remember almost everything. But this time I was like, why can't I remember? Like I didn't even remember the globe, like those figurines or those colorful bottles. Like I didn't. Mm-hmm. I was like, what is this? And am I doing it for the first time? Yeah. Oh yeah. One thing that I remember that it is really good to have the pieces that have this little like, how do you call it? Like stripes. Yeah, stripes, vertical stripes, because they go to the both top corners, because those are the columns. Mm-hmm. And I think this is the thing that I remembered. When I saw the first piece with it, I was like, oh, I remember that one.
Well, no, like it's really cool that you mentioned that, because there's so many things that you don't remember exactly where a specific piece goes, but a lot of times like a feature will stand out, and that's really, really cool that you were able to go, oh right, this is one of those columns, I got to deal with the columns, and then you can go in and address them, which was really, really fun to watch. one of the things that I saw you do, which I think was really really smart on this, is that you went in and there's this like eggshell white stairwell or sort of ground area at the
Yeah.
bottom, but underneath that telescope. How easy is it to find and pull out that kind of piece whenever there's so much murk everywhere?
This just comes down to what you were mentioning in the commentary when I was doing it, the fact that you can like change the lenses of your eyes. So that's what I do with busy puzzles. When I want to find one section, I just like go blurry and try to look only at the colors. And basically that's it. I just took out the most bright pieces and also the ones that looked like they could be some this weird stir something. and yeah, but I had trouble with like putting it together much more than I had like the first time, I think, because that time I just took the pieces and I had them all and I was like pick, and this time I had like also all of them, but I had to like have 3 islands and then connect them, and I didn't understand what was happening. But I was like, okay, go with the flow.
Well, it's fun that you say that, because I'm sure a lot of people are always thinking that the top level puzzlers are just untouchable and always do the same thing the exact same way, and the only option is for everything to feel better every time they do it. And what it sounds like you were just saying was, hey, there was some stuff that was a little funkier this time than it was previously.
Yeah.
Even though you did other stuff, even though you were a little more efficient in other ways. Does that happen to you when you're practicing with other puzzles as well?
Yeah, it is very visible when you're trying to do like your personal best on a puzzle, for example, on the postcards, right? If you have done the puzzle 10 times, even though you might think that you're not getting faster, you're certainly doing some of the sections faster, but at some point you realize that I think I did this section faster the last time, and you don't really know why. And if you just have this experience, I think you will be able to identify it when it happens with like all of the puzzles that you do, that it was faster the last time. And then you have to think about it, like, what did I do wrong? And try to learn from it, right? Because if you if you just observe, this is the first step, but if you don't take the second step, then it won't really help.
That makes a lot of sense. Oh, go ahead.
Excuse me, I just want to chime in because I see the first person on screen that's probably going to be the first person to finish the crystals puzzle is Natalia. She has chosen to do the crystals, and it looks like she'll be hopefully finishing before the hour mark. I mean, it looks like that from now. Oh
yeah, she'll be able to get this done in under an hour. Yeah, the close on the crystals will be pretty quick, I think, because even though things are a little split, it's not split opposite sides of the board quite as much as how it is on Cosmos, and so you can kind of cluster some of those pieces together a little bit easier in order to get them.
Yeah,
you see with her hands right
very
there.
tricky.
Yeah, you can see right there with what she did. She had grabbed a handful, and then went to about where it was going to go, and then chunk got those in pretty quickly, and then just kept that group if it wasn't right and moved it to a different slot. Yeah, really cool.
This is the tactic that we always discuss about. We have discussions about because it is very different from what I do. And when we are doing pairs and we have one section that we have to complete, I am looking for the correct pieces and Natalia is looking for the correct places, and this is not working together really well.
Well, it's always a game of figuring out how to work together with the ways that your guys are the fastest, which is really fun to watch. One of the things I'm curious about, Victor, is that this process is going to be very similar at at Worlds this year of having to pick between two different puzzles that you've probably done before, right? I know that you were saying that the crystal one was a little trickier than you weren't expecting it to be because of the way it sat on the pieces, and because sort of like what Catherine was saying with the Trefl, you can't airdrop things in, you can't pick them up and place them quite as easily.
Yeah.
If these were both from the like the Ravensburger publisher, and you had that option of building outside of the outside and then dropping it in, would you have picked Cosmos today as well, or would it have been a little different because it's a different publisher? Okay, cool.
Because for me, the problem with not being able to airdrop something is not really a problem. And Natalia is done.
Yeah, congratulations. Oh, just ahead of a big wave of people all getting it at the same time. Congratulations, Natalie.
What was the question?
Oh, it was just figuring out like if these were under the Ravensburger brand rather than Trefl, would you have picked differently?
I would pick the same. And actually, why I would do it is the same reasons that why I would why I can't speak today. Why I would choose this puzzle as if it was a Trefl, right? Because I look at the image and not really at the quality, but maybe I should. But also, yeah, I was saying that it isn't really a problem for me to airdrop something because I don't really do that in my process. I really, really rarely airdrop something because I always puzzle at the exact spot that it should be. So I don't really experience this problem, but I know that with Trefl it is possible that you cannot really move a lot of the pieces together. But I think if you have like 4 or 5, it's manageable. Yeah, but when it comes to figuring out which puzzle you need to choose at Worlds or in this kind of competition is a really tricky question, because when you think about it, it's not really about what do you think you would do better at compared to other people. It's always what you would do faster in general. And this is very strange to like try to think about it in that way. Because if someone is like me, very good with details, right? They would look at the puzzle that is like gradient-y, nature-y something, and then details. And I would think to myself, okay, I know I can do details faster than most of the people, right? But what I have to think is if the details are going to be faster than the gradients. And also, are the people that are doing the gradients gonna do it faster than I'm doing the details, right? So there are multiple factors that you have to think about. And yeah, and with this one, you have both the gradient and the details. So it's trickier that way, because most people I know that are going to love block of colors and stuff like that, they would go for the crystals. You know, like it's very hard to, maybe not always, but most of the time, it's hard to say which puzzle will be more difficult based just on the looks, right? Because the other factor is that you have to imagine how many pieces will one section take based on the piece count and the image.
Yeah.
So, and this is also the problem that comes up in teams, right? Because when you think about a puzzle that it's going to be like 500 pieces, and then the section is 2 times bigger, and you're like, we have a problem. Then, yeah, it can cause a lot of issues, especially if you're in a team and a team is like respecting your intuition and decisions, and you think, okay, this should be faster, and then it's not, and it's like, sorry.
Well, those kinds of things do happen. I think an important skill that all puzzlers can pick up is being able to do rough estimation, and being like, okay, this section is going to be about 7 to 8 pieces. This section is probably going to be about 30 pieces. That way you can kind of like cut down on that a little bit. But even then, when you're at pace, at speed, trying to do 800 things juggling in your brain at the same time, that kind of reflex is tough. I think one of the things that's gonna really get under people's skin, both here and in other competitions that they have to pick, is how do you limit or at least kind of tamper down the thing in the back of your head saying you picked the wrong thing, even if you pick the right one, right? Like, it's really easy to pick the right puzzle and be like, oh yeah, no, this is the fast one. But I'm sure there's a point somewhere where there's a little bit of uncertainty. So what's the best way for people to try to avoid getting into that mindset of, oh no, I picked wrong, and then kind of having that feedback loop of uncertainty kick in?
I would say that the most important thing you can say to yourself if it happens is that you are not doing this puzzle in a competition where other people have different puzzle. Let's just imagine we are all doing the same one, and that should help a lot. Because if you are trying to compare the puzzle choices, and this is actually the experience that I had in preliminary round in teams last year at Worlds, because we took the garden puzzle, and I wasn't really vibing with the choice, and I knew that the Karen's team, they are taking like the mushrooms and the vampire castle that I wanted to take, and I was thinking, like, because I don't know at which point they were done with their puzzle, and I was like, okay, they choose different puzzle. What happens if we lose because we chose wrong? And like, these are the emotions that you probably are going to have. But what you have to remember is that you, at this point, when you made the decision, there is no going back. So what is going to happen that you're going to think about it and like beat yourself down? Nothing, right? So you just have to be really fast, but try not to think in a way that you need to be faster because you realized that you like chose the wrong puzzle. Always do it the way you are doing it all the time, because if you're trying to change something in your routine, your usual process during the competition, it's gonna like snowball down. And you are going to experience even more stress, fatigue, and like chaos in your own head, because not only you'll be trying like always to do it as fast as you can, but then you are also going to have like those 3 different threads going on in your brain, and this is not going to end well, at least for most of the people.
I think that's great advice for everyone, and in general, just like, hey, if you're stressing, like, it's not helping you do the puzzle faster. So try to focus on what you're doing. I really, really like it. I know we gotta be moving to talk to some other people, but just wanted to say congratulations, Victor. Very, very, very well done. That was a fantastic clinic in puzzling. It was great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Victor. And see you in Budapest in a couple of days.
See ya. And bye.
Bye. 6. So in the meantime, we had 41 finishers. So we are up to 41 right now. We are at about 1 hour and almost 7 minutes. So that's about half of, a little bit less than half of the people that are in the meeting have finished right now. And of all the people that have already finished, I think only 2 were doing the crystals. I think if I'm wrong, someone please correct me, but I think only 2 people, it was Naya and Natalia, who are got first place for crystals, first and second place for crystals. Yeah, I thought it was interesting what Victor said about not getting stuck in this negative kind of feedback loop in your head, and just kind of going like, well, you've made the decision, and try to focus on what can I now do with this decision that I cannot take back anymore.
Yeah.
So that's kind of also generally, if you get a puzzle that it's just not your style, if you keep telling yourself that this is not my puzzle and I'm gonna suck at this puzzle, then you're probably gonna lose a couple of minutes thinking about that.
Oh, absolutely. You focus on what you're talking about, right? And so if you're saying to yourself, "Oh, this is bad," you're going to focus on all the bad things, not all the things that are going to help you solve it. It's a huge thing. The mental game is really, really powerful in speed puzzling.
Yeah, which is why I think all the people that are saying that they want to take their earbuds or their music with them, they might have an advantage, because I think if you have like music blasting in your ears, you don't have a lot of space in your mind anymore to to think negative thoughts.
Yeah, it's hard to be negative if you have some really good like soul and funk music blaring into the eardrum.
Yeah, I don't know what people listen to. Like personally, I think I would probably listen to like something fast, like drum and bass, or like something, I don't know, that hypes me up. I'm always curious to hear what people are listening to.
Play with a lot of different things. I highly recommend Darude Sandstorm, because that's just like fast paced, gets you going. A lot of things like that are just, fast, upbeat music to get you going.
Yeah, all right. Our next guest interview for tonight is Verena Klauser. Verena, if you're there, you can turn on your camera and your microphone. And hi, congratulations. You came, what was it? In the top
11th?
Just 11th, yeah, just outside of the top 10. So the main reason why I am looking forward to talking to you now is because you swept away all the prizes last weekend at the Austrian Championship. And I would like to know, like, how was it? How were the puzzles? How was the whole organization? What did it feel like winning? I mean, I'm asking you like 1,000 questions.
Yeah. But no, that's all right. It was an amazing day. Like the whole competition was organized really, really well. And I have the puzzles here that I had to do. So this was the puzzle we did in the solo. And when I opened it, I saw that it's something similar had been done in the EJJ, and I did not participate in that EJJ. And back then I was thinking, I'm so glad I don't have to do this. But now I could not escape and I had to do it. I heard from many people that it was not really their style of puzzle, and it wasn't really mine either. But yeah, now I have a special connection with this puzzle because it brought me the win. So yeah, I will have a special place for it now. It was good. I was sitting next to Maya from Germany, and she's really, really fast. And so I knew that she could maybe, push me along, take me along with her. And I mean, she won the overall ranking, and she became the best international participant. And yeah, I think I could really benefit from having her next to me. Yeah, and in the pair event, we got this puzzle that was previously used in the US like 2 years ago. And I had also done it before. So this was definitely a benefit for us. And I really, really love it. It's so beautiful. I'm really glad I have it now. And yeah, we managed to win, my sister and me, which was, you know, like pairs and teams I was looking forward to most. And I was like hoping to like win maybe a trophy in these two competitions. And yeah, like when we won the pairs, I was like really like hyped and thinking like amazing, I've achieved everything that I wanted. And then we had the pair at the team event as well afterwards, and we had two puzzles. And one was this 500-piece garden puzzle. And I actually also had done it like 2 days earlier. So I was also just really, really lucky. Like, this is not at all my style of puzzle. And I bought it because I thought I have to practice like flowers and like busy puzzles, because that's not really my thing. And then like this was one of the team's puzzles. And so yeah, both my sister and I, we could, you know, really tell our team members like, okay, this is on the right, this is on the left. So this was definitely also helpful. And then the second puzzle was 1,000 pieces, a landscape puzzle, which was a lake in Austria. It's called the Green Lake. And it was really, really tricky. It had a lot of like mountains and trees, forests, and which was all green. And then the lake was also green. This none of us had ever done before. Yeah, and we were, you know, we had a good vibe, and I really like my team. So I'm competing with my sister and with Simone, who also participated today, and with Connie. And yeah, you know, we were like cheering us on and like supporting each other. And we knew that it's a tricky puzzle, and probably everybody is gonna struggle a little bit with it, because landscapes are not like people's favorites. And yeah, we managed to win with like maybe 13 minutes difference. So yeah, we were really proud of that. And yeah, we practiced before a couple of times, and so it really paid off. Yeah, it was an overall like really exciting day. Yeah, it was great.
So you said, I'm assuming with your sister, you were practicing more often. How often did you get to practice with your team before you competed?
Well, we got together for the first time as a team in February this year. And I think in total we met 4 times. So once in February, and then once like in April, and then twice in May and June. And yeah, I think, yeah, the weekend before the championships was the last time we met and we practiced. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you seem to be a great team with also the fact that with the relatively little practice together, that you managed to yeah, come together this well and pull off the winning.
Yeah, like already the very first time we met, we just had like a really good vibe. Like we just worked well together. That was always very easygoing. And yeah, we just try to be, you know, very precise on saying like we have a clear distribution of like in the beginning who does what. And when somebody wants to do a specific section, we just say, okay, I want to do this. And then nobody's, you know, like upset or like mad, or like, because, you know, it's in the end, it's a process that you do together. You want to do and finish the puzzle together. And yeah, and if we get stuck, we just say, okay, I'm gonna leave this. It was a bad choice. I cannot continue. And then somebody else will take over. And yeah, it just works really well for us.
So also tell us a little bit about your, like, how did you get into speed puzzling? Because you've not been speed puzzling for that long, have you?
I think it has been a year now, and it's like my story is similar to like most people's story, I guess. Like I've always been puzzling, and then I randomly found like a Karen Puzzles video of the World Championships, and it's how I learned that this like speed puzzling exists. And yeah, I think it was last year in around April that I decided to also get some puzzles and compare my times. And yeah, we instantly like signed up for the World Championships because we did not really have an online presence, my sister and me. We were not active on social media, so we did not know that there's also other things happening, like other competitions and like these platforms like myspeedpuzzling.com. We didn't know any of these things. And so yeah, we only thought there's just the World Championships, and we signed up for that. And then later we found out, okay, there's also other things happening. Maybe we should have started with a more like a smaller competition, but no, it was fine. So yeah, that's how it all started for me, and basically also for my sister.
I love that you just unintentionally jumped in feet first into speed puzzling and just crushed it right out of the gate. Like that's gotta feel so cool. I know this is a little bit of an oblique question, but I'm wildly curious. What is the lucky Pokemon?
It's I actually don't know the name, I have to admit, because it's my boyfriend's. He's a huge Pokemon fan, and he actually found the Karen Puzzles video back then, and he's always like supporting me when I'm competing. Like he's always watching the live stream at the same time that I'm competing, and he's always like reporting back to me how I'm doing. And so he has this collection of Pokemon, and I just like, this was the cutest one for me, and so I just took it and used it while I was puzzling at the Austrian Nationals.
That's so cool. I do a similar thing with Mario where I just being the support or the different terms, the significant other. I'm a fan of that one. Puzz bands or the others, but I like the side piece too. How when you go somewhere, how big of a puzzle bag are you bringing? Are you like hauling a tent worth of puzzles that you're expecting to like trade around, or are you doing like a shopping bag? Like,
well,
how many cats could I fit into this thing?
Yeah, well, usually I travel really light, so I always have an issue, and especially when I went to the German nationals in February, like because I won also like some puzzles there, and they were always like handing out 2 puzzles, which I did not anticipate at all. So I was only calculating the puzzles that I got during the competition and maybe 1 extra. And then this was like, okay, having like, I'm only have hand luggage on my flight, so this is an issue. But yeah, now I've learned from my mistakes. I'm bringing a couple of bags. And yeah, now on the weekend we will go to Budapest, and luckily we will take the train, so I can bring as many bags and suitcases as I want.
Have you thought about starting a like workout program of like having to like use the puzzles as like dumbbells, that kind of thing? Because it sounds like you're winning enough to start weightlifting with them.
Well, no, it's too risky, because what if the boxes, if I drop them, then all the pieces are scattered all over the place. So no.
I love how the concern is that the pieces might get mixed up, not that you would break an ankle from the weight of the pieces falling. That is true speed puzzling mentality right there. It's about the puzzle first, safety second.
Yeah.
Oh man. Is your whole team taking the train in one go to get out there this weekend?
I think well, my sister and me, and I think Simona, we are taking the same train, but I think Connie is going a little bit earlier. So yeah, almost.
Are you gonna do you have any plans outside of the events of things to check out while you're there?
Not yet. Like I've been to Budapest 6 or 7 times in my life already, because it's really close to Vienna. So I used to go there a lot, and I mean, I know quite many things, what to explore and what to see. But yeah, I guess since I've been so many times, I don't really have to do any sightseeing and stuff. So maybe, you know, mostly just hanging out with all the other puzzle people. Yeah, just, you know, going for food, drinks, hanging out with people, chatting and socializing.
Cool. Sort of shifting gears again. Sorry. I know at the Austrian champs, were you feeling nervous going in, or were you pretty confident, like, okay, today's the big day, it's gonna be fine, or were you feeling like jittery at all?
No, I was like nervous because, you know, for me it was for me it really depends on the type of puzzle that we get. So it's not really clear. It was not clear to me that I was going to win. Like now it like looks like it because I won all 3 events, but it's really, you know, the puzzle was tricky, the dog puzzle, but it's difficult for everyone. And I guess almost nobody has ever done it before. So it was pretty fair. And then I knew that if it's something that nobody has done before, then I have good chances of winning. But if it's something that, you know, someone maybe has done a couple of times and I've never done it, then it could be a completely different result. So we did not know what we were gonna get. And so for me, it was pretty open and everything was possible. And like the same for pairs, like, you know, like if it's an unpublished puzzle, then it's more fair. I mean, we all know that, but unfortunately that was not possible right now, maybe next year. So yeah, again, it could have been something, you know, like a super duper busy puzzle that both my sister and me were not very good at. And then again, it could have been a different result. And so yes, we were also like together, we were nervous at the beginning. Like when we saw the puzzle, it's like, okay, yeah, I know we can do it. I love the puzzle, so that also helps. And yeah, and like, you know, in the teams, I was maybe the least nervous, but also because we're 4 people, so the whole pressure, you know, divides a little bit among everyone. Yeah, but I mean, definitely at the solo competition, I was nervous at first. Yeah.
How
What
many?
Oh, go ahead, Catherine.
Sorry. How many people were there at the championships? Because it was, I think, a little bit smaller than like more recent nationals that I've seen, but there were still quite a few people.
Yeah, like in the solos, there was 100 participants, and in the pairs, it was 100 pairs, so 200 people. And I think these 2 events were fully booked out. And we had also like a couple of international guests joining us, maybe like 10 to 15 people in the solo division. And the pairs, I think, like they used then like 2 tables for one team. And so they would have had space for 50 teams, but it was not fully booked out, like maybe 45 teams or so.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good for maybe next year. It can be a little bit bigger, or maybe 2 days. You can have, like we had at the Dutch Nationals, a few rounds of 2 individual rounds before the final, for example. And then that way you can get in more people, even though the venue is not bigger.
And definitely, that would be nice. Also means more puzzling. So
yeah, and I mean, for Austrians, Vienna is very like easy to get to. From
yeah,
I would
definitely.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for taking the time and chatting with us. Congratulations
Thank you.
on all of your wins from last weekend and also on your 11th place today. And then we will also see you in Budapest.
Yeah, looking forward. See you there.
Yeah,
Good luck
see you.
this weekend.
Bye.
Bye. Well, in the meantime, we had quite a few more people finish, as you can see on the screen. Now we can see everyone. that is still puzzling, we can see everyone on the screen. And I also just want to apologize. I totally forgot about Veronica, who came third in today's competition. And I don't know, I'm like overwhelmed with everything. It's hot. It's still 35 degrees. So I'm going to blame it on the weather. But I'm sorry we didn't get to talk to her. And by the time we noticed that we should have talked to her, she was already out of the meeting. So maybe we can interview her next time. Excuse me. All right, yeah, so we have about 70-ish finishers, and we still have like a few people puzzling. There has been one more, I think I think two more finishers of the crystal puzzle. Daria, and I also think who was it? Was it Natasha?
I think it might have been Natasha.
Yeah. So
Selma.
Yeah.
Selma was the other person. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but we did have a few more of that. But as you can see from all the little screens, that we have quite a few more people still working on the crystals. Irma getting close with the crystals, Nadia getting close with the crystals, and then we have a few other people that are also getting very close with the Cosmos puzzle. We have Maya, we have Evily, we have Jessica. That are reaching the end.
Coming into the final couple of handfuls of pieces. And this is, we talk about it all the time. Fatigue is a real thing, especially after you cross the 40-minute mark, let alone once you're in closer to an hour and a half. So we're all rooting for everybody to find that second gear, push just a little bit harder, just get, an extra handful of pieces in, even if it's just one extra piece every minute. That's one less piece you got to worry about later that's already going to be in there. So keep on pushing at this point. I think it's also really cool that so many puzzlers zeroed in on doing the Cosmos puzzle as like their first choice. And it probably means we're going to see a lot of those people having been faster on a first go of it. Just by virtue of more people doing it means that you're going to get also more faster people doing it as well. So you're going to see stuff skewed a little bit that way. I do think the crystal one is a little bit trickier overall, but people that are knocking it out are doing a really good job. Like we can see, Steffi H is down to maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe about 20 pieces left that are all in the middle. Same thing for Irma there. And Jessica is down in the last handfuls of browns at the lower bottom. And Nicole is so close to finishing. Just get that physicality going, and you all are going to finish well within time. Really, really exciting stuff. And these are definitely not easy puzzles. How many finishers did you say we had at this point, Catherine?
So we're at 71 finishes.
71. That is wild.
Yeah. So we are at the 1.5 hour mark. So the 90 minutes for the bigger competitions would be done now, if that's what you were aiming for. But yeah, these puzzles are not easy. I actually did the crystal puzzle in 1 hour and like 32 minutes, but I kind of gave up like halfway through. So I'm thinking I could have been maybe like 5 or 10 minutes faster if I would have stuck with it, but I'm blaming the heat again. It was too hot to push myself.
Maybe what you needed was a lucky Pokemon. Maybe that's what you needed. Maybe you needed a Blastoise in order to cool you down with water.
I've been thinking about mascots because I see so many people using mascots, and then I went to a store a couple of days ago, and just by coincidence, I saw these two like Jellycats, and they are like chips and dip. and they go together with a magnet. So I'm thinking I'm gonna bring these as my mascots because that'll be the reward. Like after I'm done puzzling, I can get chips and salsa.
You absolutely should. I think that's brilliant. I think any excuse to have snacks is a good one. Maybe immediately after. Sort of like the proverbial carrot on a stick, right? Like just for puzzling.
Exactly, like faster. All right, so we are reaching the last stretch of the live stream, and because we're getting so close to the Europeans, we thought it would be fun to have someone from Budapest here, and Vicky did really great today as well in the competition. She came in, what was that, 3, 4, and 5th place. Hi, Vicky.
Hi.
Congratulations on your performance today. You did really,
Thank
really
you.
well.
Yeah, I
And-
enjoyed the picture.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, before we get into the whole Budapest, I want to know, like, why did you choose the puzzle that you chose, and like, how did you enjoy it?
Yeah, to be honest, I already did these puzzles in November, but I didn't speed puzzle them just for fun during watching movies and so on. So I knew them, and yeah, I definitely knew that I have to choose the upper one because the bottom one is, I just have to check it. Yeah, so to be fair, it's not my style, I guess, with a lot of similar crystal pieces. And yeah, the gradient picture is more easier, I guess. And if I saw it right, not so many people chose the bottom one, I guess.
Yeah, I think a lot of people may have gotten intimidated by it right out the gate. And whenever you have a what can look like a gift of something that is very familiar, that's a happy gradient, and people will gravitate towards that a little bit.
Yes.
which is pretty neat. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how did it go? What worked for you? What didn't? I know that you said you've done this before. Is it different trying to do? Is it different trying to do it for a second time for speed whenever the first time you did it was just for funsies?
I guess if less time has passed, then it can count, and yeah, I can rely on the memories of the picture. But it was almost 8 months ago, so I can say I didn't really remember anything. Maybe the strategy was the same, because when I puzzle just for fun, I almost always sort the edges, because yeah, I have time and I can take my time on it. And now I decided to sort as well at the beginning. Yeah. So I guess the same strategy was here, but yeah, in a really different mood, I guess, because I didn't have time to appreciate the little details, which are at the third half of the picture. Maybe with the, I don't know, I looked at it like a table, but as I see it now closely, it's not a table, it's just a room with a lot of stuff. So yeah, I didn't have too much time to explore the picture, I guess.
Do you ever find yourself while you're speed puzzling kind of regretting that you have to go fast because you can't just like sit there and be like, oh, isn't that cute, or like really like absorb what's on the image as you're doing it, or are you just like pure business and then think about that kind of thing later?
I guess the later one. Yeah, And nowadays, I find it kind of difficult for me to relax puzzling because I always start to think about the speed strategies, or if I did it for trying to do a new record, how would I start, and so on. So my mind is always about speeding, I guess.
It's just all gas, no brakes.
Yep. Yes.
Well, whenever you open this up, were you tell me what was going through your mind whenever you first saw the options? Was it, just walk me through what you were thinking.
I was happy because from Trefl with these double 500 pieces, I only did 2, and one box was one of them. So it definitely was good for me now. And yes, the gradient one is was an obvious choice. So I didn't have to think about it because I was afraid that before the competition that I will choose the wrong one, because I really can't estimate how much time will a puzzle take to me. So yeah, it was a good choice for this double trouble, I guess.
Now, I know that you said what are some of the things that you bring with you to competition, and you have a track list. Do you change the music track list every time, or do you just have one that is your speed puzzling track list, and that's what it is?
Yes, I have the exact same 5 songs in the exact same order, because that's how I can track my time, because it's almost exactly 20 minutes long. So if it starts over, then I knew that it's 20 minutes now. So that's where I should
You can kind
be.
of pace yourself by where the songs are. Yeah.
Yes, and it was accidentally, but I chose the songs that the first one, when it finishes, I know that I should finish the flipping up the pieces, and when the second finishes and the edge is not done, then kind of frustrating because I know that it's about 8 minutes, so it would be better to finish that. But it kind of helps me because I don't have to watch a timer or something like that.
I'm really curious. What is your flip song?
It's called Jukebox.
Called Jukebox. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not really sure that it's really familiar to others, but
Is it typical Hungarian?
Oh, okay. Because I was just like, I'll type in jukebox. That won't have like 8 million results in Google. That's fine. No, that's
I can send
cool.
it to you later.
Yeah, that would be lovely. I'm always curious. I think I mentioned like we've gone through periods of using like Sandstorm or Scatman and those kinds of things. So
I wanted to choose very fast music because the piece just helps me to keep up the fast speed.
Well, what are some of the other things that you bring to a competition, even if it's online or in person?
Yes, my headphones and puzzle box holder. Maybe that's it. I don't really need anything else because I guess mascot maybe would distract me. Or if we have some kind of snacks or anything on the table, for example, on a competition, I like to set them aside and don't be in my view.
I heard a rumor you might have some personalized bags that you're bringing.
Badges.
Badges.
Like the little
some little badges, right?
Yeah,
did you design those or?
Yes, they just have my logo, how to say it, but it's just a drawing of mine. And I wrote the EGAPC 2025 in the puzzle piece in it, so it can be unique just for this competition. Yeah, I saw this idea on the World Championship that many people share their badges, and I like that really much. And I wanted to do this now.
How does it feel to have such a big competition like the European Championship happening in your like hometown? I mean, that must be amazing.
Yes, it's really good. Yeah, considering the fact that the association is not really old, so this is one of their first. Not the first, but there weren't many competitions since the association was created. I was really happy, and I didn't want to believe it at first. So it's really good that I don't have to travel that much now, because maybe I wouldn't make it there this year. So it's really positive that I really know the place. But I don't really know the area where it will be held. So this will be a new traveling for me as well, because this stadium is in the suburb, and I haven't been there yet, so it will be new for me as well.
So what kind of tips would you give for anyone who's traveling to Budapest for the competition? Like, what is important to know, like, about the city?
Yes. Maybe many of you know this, but Fruji made a really good Instagram storyline about this, and she suggested a lot of things to do. The most important one is, I guess, that public transport is preferable, I guess, than renting car or something like that, because parking is not easy here as well as any big city. And I couldn't suggest anything with car renting because I'm not familiar with it. I use public transport, and I just checked it, and from the city center it's reachable by 2 vehicles, I guess. So it's not that hard to get there.
Yeah, how long do you think it takes, kind of, if you're like in the center of Budapest and you need to get down to the venue, like time-wise, what should people like keep in mind, kind of? Is it, because I have no idea, is it like 10 minutes? Is it half an hour? Like what?
From the exact city center, which is called, I guess the best is to accept 1 hour. Because, because you have to change to another vehicle, and you don't know how many times you have to wait there, and the traffic always can be really tricky. So if you would like to go from the Akferent there, then I guess 1 hour is it should be enough, I hope. but maybe 60, 70 minutes.
All right, now that's good to know, because if you're not if you don't know the city, it's really hard to know like how far is this distance that I see on the map.
Just an estimation is not really easy.
Yeah, so a lot of people are gonna come, and they're probably gonna stay like all over the city, I would assume. Is there like anything that you would say is like a must see, like if you come for sightseeing, like what would be like the main thing, I guess, that you would recommend people to see or to do?
The first thing comes to my mind is the building of the parliament, because I think it's really beautiful. It's on the west side of Budapest, but the view is really cool from the other side of the river, Duna. Yeah, and the other thing is the Ferris wheel. It's on reference there, and I don't know the height of it, but you can see a lot of things in Budapest from there.
Hmm.
So yeah, if you don't have too much time to visit the city, then yeah, it can be a really good opportunity to have a look and imagine.
Yeah, see
how can
everything
they
kind
say?
of.
Yeah, yes.
That's really cool. I was a bit looking like what things are there to do, and you tell me now if it's a good idea, because there are these like boats that do like a city view thing where you just go like from one side to the other and then back. Is that something like that you would recommend or not?
To be honest, I haven't been on one of them yet, but yeah, a few days ago I just saw a boat like this, and I heard that I guess German people spoke on there, and I heard that if you look on the right, then you can see the, I don't know, the island or anything. And yeah, I just thought about it that it can be really cool to see the things from the river, because there are many beautiful buildings, and the bridges are really cool, I guess. We have many, and they are really beautiful as well. So yeah, it can work it to try, but I don't really know them, how long it takes or anything.
Yeah. Proceed with caution.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Michelle had some questions for you. So she wants to know, is there anything specific that Hungarians are known for? And what is your favorite Hungarian meal?
I guess Hungarians are famous for their spicy food.
Mm-hmm.
Ironic, because I don't really like spicy food. So, but yeah, I guess this is one thing, and the other one is palinka. I don't know if you've heard that before. It's a type of alcohol, and I don't know why, but it's really famous.
Okay. Yeah, I don't drink alcohol, so I'm like out of the question with anything that has to do with
I don't like it, so I just know that many people, if you ask them, what do you know about Hungary, and this, and some kind of national dances. We have these very unique dresses and clothes, and people, I mean, just like in Hungarian dances, but I don't know much about them, but they are really Hungarian. Yeah, and my favorite Hungarian dish may be gulyás soup, I guess, which has beef in it, paprika, spices, and a lot of things. I'm not really good at cooking, so but it's delicious. And I guess if you visit any kind of Hungarian restaurant, it will be on the menu.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a dish that I've heard of before, so it must be good if people outside of Hungary know it. I would also like to know maybe a few like Hungarian words, like hello, thank you, goodbye. Just like, what are some of the basics that we can learn?
No, hello, it's a pretty common one here, but you can say szia. It sounds like the szia in English, but it's when you greet someone, so it can be confusing. So they don't say goodbye, just greet you. They say szia. Thank you is köszönöm.
Köszönöm?
Köszönöm, yeah, that was really good.
Okay.
And there is
I feel like I need to write this down.
Yeah, I should be taking notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is a short version, which is cursive,
Okay.
a little shorter.
I think the other thing is easier for me to say.
Okay. And what was the other word?
Goodbye is also Sia.
You
Okay.
can say Sia, yes. Yes, Wislat is a bit more formal way to say, but it is the same.
I'm going in informal.
Yes, yes, I guess Sia would be enough.
So it serves us both hello and goodbye.
Yes.
Okay.
I know there's always a few phrases that are handy to know, like where is the hospital or that kind of thing. A very important one, I think, for everybody going. How would you say in Hungarian, where does this piece go?
Hova megy ez a darab?
Okay, hang on. I need to like, hit record, and that way I can just play it back.
Hova megy ez a darab?
Hold on. All right, I'm just gonna clip that part and then
Okay.
just have it autoplay.
Just gonna practice.
Okay.
I just wanted to mention we have about 7 minutes to go, and we still have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, also 7 people that are still puzzling, and you are all puzzling the hard puzzle. I feel, yeah, bad for you that you got stuck with the bad puzzle, but there's a few of you that I think that can do it. Like Lydia, you're so close. Lena, very close. Daniela, you can do it. You can do it. I believe in you. You have to be fast. Christine, Liebe, and Isabel, you have, I think, a little bit too many like empty spaces to be able to finish, but I would still encourage you to try to put in as many pieces as you can. Maybe pick like a color and then just really stick with that color to go forward. Like the purples are a little bit easier to distinguish between than the reds and the pinks and the oranges, for example. So maybe that would be something you could do. So keep going, guys.
You're coming in on the end. Fight the urge to slow down and hit the gas right now. Look at the hole, fill the hole. That's going to be quick acting right now. Get those hands moving. Pretend it's the flip for the next 7 minutes. You're just right back at the start. You're just doing it over again. Vicky, a thing I'm curious about. There's often tourist traps or like places that are less interesting than they really are. Like in the U.S., there's Plymouth Rock, where you would expect it to be this like huge boulder, and then it ends up being like this big. Like it's really really weird. Are there any awkward tourist traps in Budapest that people should know about?
That's a good question. I'm sure that it is, but now I can't recall something like that.
There's a good chance that everything is awesome there, and there isn't really.
Yeah, of course.
Which is great.
Yeah, that's why I live here. I will think about that because it's a really interesting question. I haven't think about it yet. But maybe there's something because it's everywhere, so there must be something.
Yeah, I think Fruji said something in her stories on Instagram, which, by the way, I recommend everyone to head to her Instagram and look at them. She made like a highlight out of it. She said if you want to pick up money from an ATM, that it's probably better to go to one that's like in a bank than to go to one of the random ones that's just standing around, because then you might be paying like higher fees because you're going to be picking up with a non-Hungarian card, and then they charge like extra for the bank transfer and things like that. So that was one of the things that I'm trying to remember, to like go to the ATMs at the at the banks.
Yeah, and I guess the similar tactic is that if you buy your tickets for public transport, then it's more cheaper if you buy it in the stations, because if you buy it on the bus or on the tram, then it's more expensive.
I actually bought mine in the app. I downloaded the app, and then you can choose like how long you want. Yeah, and I have to say, I mean, the public transport is very cheap compared to like other, like I live in the Netherlands. Here it's very, very expensive. Like one train ride can cost like 25 euros, even if you're just going like, you know, from one big city to another. And where I come from in Luxembourg, public transport is free. So I'm always annoyed at the Dutch for making it expensive. But the prices in Budapest are very, very good. I mean, I paid about 15 euros for like a two-week pass, and I could take as many, you know, metros or whatever as I wanted in that time. So that's that's really good price.
Yeah, you can use almost everything with that. I guess the transport from the airport to the city center is another fee, so you can't use that ticket for that, but for everything else it's good. So yeah.
Yeah. And as we're nearing like the last couple of minutes, I would like to invite Michelle to come on, because she is the only one of us that can actually see the time running down. And I would love her to do like a countdown when it's over, not that we miss it.
Well, we've still got 90 seconds to go.
All right.
But Daniela is so
Lydia,
close.
you're
I
so
really
close.
want Daniela to finish.
Daniela, you can do it.
Go, Daniela. Oh, and Lydia finished.
There it is. There it is. It's happening.
Go, Lydia. Yay!
Yay!
Team believe. Team believe.
And Lydia is busy with this bigger.
Oh, Lydia's right there. Look at that. Come on, Lydia. Come on. There's only a few pieces left. You can do it. There it is. Congratulations.
It's done.
All right, Daniela,
Yeah.
bring it home.
Daniela, you have like 3 or 4 more pieces left. You can do it. And Lena, you don't have a lot. You can just. I know. It's the hardest crystal of all the crystals, but it has a slight gradient in it. Maybe that can help. I don't know.
I think Lena was forced to do that one. I think she was one that only had she only had one bag, so she was forced to do that one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But doing really well.
Daniela's down to the last 2 pieces, or 3. There's 3. Get it in. 1 left. There's only 1 left. Let's go.
Go, Daniela.
Congratulations.
Yay, congrats, Daniela.
Oh man. I haven't had a shave that close in a while, Daniela. That was excellent.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. So close,
Congratulations,
Lena.
everybody. Very, very, very well done.
Yeah, so
Well done, everyone.
Liebe Zila, when you've finished counting, please write your name as well. I couldn't find you on the list, so that we know who to put to the results for. But yeah, congrats everyone. Yeah, so first time for Double Trouble, something new, something different. Hopefully everybody learned something from it, whether they made the right choice or the wrong choice. Maybe it helped them to just practice the skill and to think about it more often. It is a bit tricky because often a lot of the double boxes, like from Trefl, they also have other ones. Often they're from the same artist, and so they look so similar. But this one I thought was different enough. So yeah, that was, I think, a very interesting competition.
I think it's really cool, and there's a lot of comments on the YouTube stream that I'm sure you've seen, where people are saying, "Yeah, this is a really cool idea. This is it's fun to do, and you know, who wouldn't turn down an extra puzzle?"
Yeah, exactly. I think like sometimes you have puzzles that are very, very similar in these things, and then sometimes you have some that are very, very different. I did one in like another competition where it was like one was Amsterdam and the other one was, I think, what was it, London or something, and they were both very like we ended up doing both, and they were like, you finished. It didn't really matter which one you do. Let's say it like that. They were both relatively equal in difficulty, and but with this one, there was a clear difference also from what you can see on my speed puzzling. The crystals one was about 20% slower on there than the Cosmos one. Yeah, and again, congratulations to Nia, who had to pick the tougher puzzle, but still managed to finish it in time to join the Puzzle Guzzle, and is now in the chat. So I'm assuming she finished that one also under the hours. Congratulations, Nia. Or Naya. Sorry, I might be mispronouncing your name. I say Nia because I have a niece that's called Nia, and that's how we pronounce it. But you're from the UK, so it's probably not like that.
Yeah, Isabel said that she wanted to do the other one, but she got the same bag twice.
Oh,
Oh, come on, Trefl, what are you doing to us? Okay, so that sounds like 2 people only had 1 bag, and 1 person had the same bag twice.
yeah. I mean, that's not very nice.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's kind of impressive that the crystals grew through one bag and into the other, much as crystals are wont to do in the wild.
yeah. Yeah, so just from what I could tell, 17 people chose crystals, and the rest, so about 65 to 70 people did the Cosmos one. But yeah, so thanks so much, Jim and Catherine, for organizing that one, and we'll wait for Dora to let us know her number of pieces. But yeah, so for those of us who are not going to Budapest, unfortunately, we can watch the live stream that will be hosted by Fruji, and you can check out Mope Puzzle, so MOPE Puzzle on YouTube. There they will be live streaming all the events, so that's going to be really exciting. Okay, and Nia says she's like really hot. She's never been so boiling because she had to do this one under pressure, then she had to do the other one pressure. 231. Okay, 231 für Dora. Danke, Dora. All right. So thanks very much, Vicky, for sharing some more insider tips on Budapest, and we wish you the best of luck. Also, Catherine, best of luck for this coming weekend, and also all the participants. And yeah, excited to see who's going to be the European champions. Yeah,
it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. All right. So yes, and see everyone. Everyone's going to see Fruji on the stream. Yes.
Well, congrats to everybody, and good luck this weekend if you're going.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.